Bitter criticism. You cannot imagine how much is 2 mega of pages, and we have 3 news here. Look, we have 3. Well, crazy, too much news to cover. The news doesn't take a rest. I just read this. Well, I have to read fast, but this is just news from yesterday. I just will see what I'm gonna lose now, but I guess I will see something. I'm not sure. This will be I'm not sure if I'm gonna take a seat on the bus neither. I guess not, because there's just too much. I just read this morning, and now I have a lot of well, my bus is here. Let's see, wish me luck.
Sí, por detrás.
You know, if you come to Chile, and you will be reading or just reading or wearing a headphone just like me, you must not sit on the back, because that's where, if you cannot sit in the very back of the seat, in the very back of the bus, you don't sit like in the middle from to the back, understand? Because the pickpockets, they will take you. They take the I don't know if they take headphones, but as I'm wearing headphones now and cell phones, I'm not aware of what's happening. So sit on the front, in the middle to the front, something. Yeah, I guess I will be fine, because I'm reading too, you know. I read this morning too. I also read this. So I guess I missed this news. Look, Chinese scientists make breakthrough in brain-inspired. What the hell? In brain-inspired vision chips technology. May 30 from yesterday. Do you know, May have 31 days? I was not aware of that. But here we go. These are from Cgtn. Nature. What? This is, I guess, is from Cgtn, but anyway, Cgtn is publishing Nature, I guess. I'm kind of lost here. The vision chip Tianmo, developed by Chinese scientists, was featured on the cover of the journal Nature in its latest issue, related on May 30, 2024. A team of Chinese scientists from Tsinghua University has developed a cutting-edge vision chip named Tianmo, which could revolutionize how machines perceive and interact with the world. The research was featured on the cover of the journal Nature in its latest issue related on May 30. So, very interesting. What is all about? Inspired by the human visual system's complexities, Tianmok achieves high efficiency performance with a unique design that processes visual information at a rate of 10,000 frames per second and reduces bandwidth usage by 90%. As the development of autonomous driving intelligent robots and other AI-driven technologies advances, there's a growing demand for enabling machines to see the world more effectively. However, traditional sensor chips often face limitations such as high power consumption, bandwidth constraint. I don't know what's bandwidth. Look. Bandwidth constraints, limited dynamic range, and challenges in achieving high resolution and frame rates without latency noise, or scalability issues. The Tianmok chip, Tsinghua University, Tsinghua. The Tianmok chip, on the other hand, pioneers the sensing paradigm by breaking down visual information into simple, basic elements. According to Shi Lumping, the corresponding author of the paper and a professor at the Department of Precision Instrument at Tsinghua University, by organizing these elements into two pathways, one for detailed understanding and another for quick reaction. The chip can accurately make sense of its surroundings and respond swiftly to changes, just as our brain processes the information our eyes gather. In essence, the chip functions like two brains working in tandem, one for comprehension and the other for rapid response. The Tianmok chip opens new avenues for significant applications, such as autonomous driving and embodied intelligence, said Xiao Rong, a co-corresponding author and professor at the same department. The team also designed the world's first hybrid paradigm chip, Tianjik, for brain-inspired computing to facilitate the development of artificial general intelligence, AGI. This research was recognized with a cover featuring Nature in 2019. Brain-inspired computing is an emerging field where brain scientists and AI engineers collaborate to achieve AGI by applying fundamental concepts from brain science and neuromorphic engineering. They aim to develop advanced computational models and hardware designed to compute more quickly and efficiently, using less energy than the current AI paradigm. So this is all from Cgtn from yesterday. New human rights report casts critical eye at US. Anthony Moretti, May 30, 2024. What? Editor's note. Anthony Moretti, a special commentator on current affairs for Cgtn, is an associate professor at the Department of Communication and Organizational Leadership at Robert Morris University. The article reflects the author's opinion and not necessarily those of Cgtn. A new report issued by the State Council Information Office of the People's Republic of China SCIO offers an assessment of the human rights situation in the United States. So this article is a critical Chinese article over the US, which is pretty nice. The report serves as a reminder that the US must improve in several areas in order to move ever closer to being the more perfect union, words that appear in the preamble of the US Constitution. The report's opening paragraph offers a stark summary. The human rights situation in the United States combined to deteriorate in 2023. In the United States, human rights are becoming increasingly polarized. While a ruling minority holds political, economic, and social dominance, the majority of ordinary people are increasingly marginalized, with their basic rights and freedoms being disregarded. A staggering 76% of Americans believe that their nation is moving in the wrong direction. And just like myself, I'm not an American citizen, but I remember this quote from Hillary Clinton. She said, "We are deplorable." so am I. So I am. I'm a deplorable. So I put deplorable in my Facebook account. Nobody liked it, I guess, but I don't care. I'm just fooling around, I guess. But this maybe it's true for Hillary Clinton standards, but she's so I don't know. His husband cheated her, so she's I don't know. She's ashamed. I guess she's not so interesting by any. I don't know how to speak English. And well, the figure comes from the ABC News Ipsos poll taken in November 2023. It also found that only 1 in 3 Americans have a favorable opinion of President Joe Biden, and slightly fewer have a favorable view of former President Donald Trump. Remember, one of these two men is likely to be elected in 2024. Suffice to say, the electorate is not happy. The SCIO report identifies critical shortcomings in the US. As an example, it states that an inability to establish stronger gun laws has contributed to a continuous surge in mass shootings. Approximately 43,000 people were killed by gun violence in 2023, averaging 117 deaths per day. That's just what an American citizen told me. He was afraid to live there just because he didn't want to be one of the 117 deaths per day. Only the most crash of people will suggest that because that figure has come down from a high almost 49,000 in 2021, that America is now a safer place. Of course, America's awful history of racism cannot be forgotten, but the report links the dangerous conditions many black people are in today to the inadequate healthcare they receive. One effect due to significant racial discrimination in the healthcare sector the maternal mortality rate for African American women is nearly 3 times of white women. So I guess Chinese government is taking this war seriously, isn't it? A protester holds a sign near the White House in Washington, D.C., U.S., June 8, 2021, from Xinhua. The SCAO report adds that while only less than 5% of the global population lives in the U.S., the country accounts for 25% of the global prison population. Here again, racism cannot be ignored because black Americans are 4.5 times as likely as white Americans to be behind bars, which the United Nations has challenged America to address. The 31-page SCAO report cannot be dismissed as an attempt by one of America's fools to bash the United States. As noted in the examples above, data come from multiple sources, many of the Western media and respected international organizations. Nevertheless, critics will be quick to throw away this analysis because the report was authored by a Chinese government agency. Terms such as biased, unfair, one-sided, and false are likely to be tossed around due to tensions in the bilateral relationship between the U.S. and China. But that negative assessment is blunted when one recognizes that Human Rights Watch (HRW) has expressed similar concerns about America's human rights situation.
Me gano la vida honradamente vendiendo estos deliciosos bombones.
HRW has expressed similar concerns about America's human rights situation. In its opening remarks to its 2023 report, HRW states that officials need to take bolder steps to dismantle the systemic racism baked into many U.S. institutions and structures. It warns that networks of white supremacists and far-right extremists have expanded their online presence, adding to the climate of fear for minority populations. That fear is justified when one acknowledges FBI data showing an increase in such crimes in 2022. About 7 in 10 incidents in that year were directed toward people because of their race or ethnic identity. Meanwhile, the HRW adds that the United Nations has criticized the country for not implementing internationally accepted standards to combat racism. The HRW also identifies harsh immigration policies such as expulsion, detention, deportation, and extreme anti-asylum policies. As another mark against the U.S., the report condemns political officials in Arizona, Florida, and Texas for sending migrants and refugees to all corners of the country without regard for the likely location of their relatives or court hearings. Examples, whether they come from the SCAO or the HRW, are plentiful, and they all point to an uncomfortable conclusion. Polarization in America means that unless someone is The poor condemns. I lost myself here. Without taxes and the immigrant hearings are plentiful, and they all point to an uncomfortable conclusion. Polarization in America means that unless someone is white, male, and heterosexual, they are flawed policies. There are flawed policies and corrosive histories in place that make navigating daily life treacherous for millions of people living in the U.S. Offensive rhetoric about ethnic minorities and that millions of Americans, though had been successfully tamped down, is again out in the open. And that means the notion of the other being somehow inferior to mainstream damages America's human rights situation. The US is a country proud of its values. Now is the time for it to affirm a commitment to them by doing much more to guarantee a more perfect union can be achieved. It will take hard work, but that is another value American expose. Expose. Hard work, isn't it? I guess Chinese people work harder. Anyway, but a very nice article, a very critical, nice article from Cgtn to us. Sometime I will write my own articles. I guess I did it. I guess I'm gonna read tomorrow. I'm gonna find that. The question is, I lost my I got two cell phones now, but the one I was using is just broke, and I lost some articles there. But I guess I published on Facebook, so I'm gonna try to find out those articles, to read my own articles, my own garbage, my own social anthropology without references. Woo! My own bullshit. This I was talking about a lot of in previous videos. China Arab states adopt series of outcomes documents. Politics, May 13 from yesterday. Cgtn. Well, I'm not gonna read this. I'm just gonna skip because this is too institutional. China, UAE to promote Belt and Road cooperation. This is better. I guess UAE is part of BRICS now, I guess. China, May 13. Pepe Escobar doesn't like this guy. Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed. Pepe Escobar doesn't like this guy, but anyway, Chinese President Xi Jinping said China is willing to promote Belt and Road cooperation with the United Arab Emirates, UAE, while holding talks with President of the UAE Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan in Beijing on Thursday. President Xi noted that the UAE is an important comprehensive strategic partner of China. In recent years, China-UAE relations have maintained a sound momentum of development, setting a good example for China-Arab state relations in the new era. This year marks the 40th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between China and the UAE, he said, adding that it is an important juncture for China-UAE relations to build on past achievements and forge ahead. This year marks the 14th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between China and the UAE, he said, adding that it is an important juncture for China-UAE relations to build on past achievements and forge ahead. I just read 2 times this. My mistake. He said China stands ready to work with the UAE to continue to grasp the general direction of bilateral relations from a strategic aid and a long-term perspective, and ensure the vigorous development of the comprehensive strategic partnership. China is willing to consolidate cooperation in trade, energy, and infrastructure, and expand cooperation in high-tech areas such as information technology, artificial intelligence, the digital economy, and new energy, he said. Not he, but he. China will continue to support the 100 Schools project of Chinese language education in the UAE, strengthen people-to-people exchanges, and promote friendship between the two nations, he said. He added, China supports the Middle East countries to pursue a road of peace and reconciliation and resolve disputes through dialogue. Calling China his second home, Sheikh Mohammed said the UAE places China as the top priority in its diplomacy, regards China as a long-term and reliable strategic partner, and is willing to further deepen and expand cooperation in the fields of economy, trade, investments, energy, science and technology, education, and people-to-people exchanges. The UAE government firmly adheres to the One China policy and supports China efforts to realize national reunification, he said. Not he, but he, no, I don't remember now. Pledging to continue to actively participate in Belt and Road cooperation and work closely with the Chinese side in multilateral communication and collaboration to make positive efforts to promote peace, development, and prosperity in the region and the world. The two sides also exchanged views on the Palestine-Israel conflict. He emphasized that the top priority is a comprehensive ceasefire and ease of the humanitarian crisis. China and the UAE share the same position on the Palestinian issue and should work together to promote a comprehensive, just and lasting solution to the issue, he added. After the talks, the two heads of state witnessed the signing of a number of bilateral cooperation documents on investment, Belt and Road cooperation, science and technology, peaceful use of nuclear energy, Chinese language education, culture, and tourism. I want to take Chinese education too. I guess it would be nice to speak Chinese. I guess I read this news. Look, 5 cooperation frameworks to take China-Arab ties to new level, says Wang Yi. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi, also a member of political bureau, the Communist Party. Look, Minister Wang Yi looks like a baby. Look. I'm sorry, Chinese people. I don't think that Xi Jinping looks like a beer. I don't think that. The 5 cooperation frameworks that China has proposed to work with Arab states will take our China-Arab cooperation in the new era to a new level, said Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi at the 10th Ministerial Conference of the China-Arab States Cooperation Forum, CASCF, in Beijing on Thursday. Delivering a keynote speech at the opening ceremony of the conference, Chinese President Xi Jinping said China is ready to work with the Arab side to put in place 5 cooperation frameworks to step up the building of a China-Arab community with a shared future. The 5 frameworks consist of a more dynamic framework for innovation and expanded framework for investment and finance cooperation, and more multifaceted framework for energy cooperation, a more balanced framework for mutually beneficial economic and trade ties, and a broader framework for people-to-people exchanges. He also announced that China will host the second China-Arab States Summit in 2026. That will be another milestone in China-Arab relations, said Wang, who is also a member of the Political Bureau of the Communist Party of China Central Committee at the Ministerial Conference. Wang urged both sides to further enhance strategic mutual trust and firmly support each other's core interests, deepen pragmatic cooperation, and promote higher level of mutual benefit and win-win results, strengthen international cooperation, and jointly maintain the correct direction of global governance, and strengthen the building of the CASCF to open up a bright future for the Chinese Arab community with a shared future. The meeting was co-chaired by Wang, Mauritanian Foreign Minister Mohamed Salem Ould Merzouk, who shares the Arab League Council of Foreign Minister, and Ahmed Aboul Sheikh Jade, Secretary General of the League of Arab States, and attended by foreign ministers and representatives of Arab states. The attendees described his proposal on the future development direction of China-Arab relations as the idea of building the 5 cooperation frameworks as encouraging, saying that they will inject strong impetus into the building of a new type of partnership between Arab states and China, and accelerate the building of a China-Arab community with a shared future. I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna skip 3 paragraphs. So we have more news from Cgtn. Premier leads China to enhance multilateral coordination with Malaysia. Politics, May 30, Cgtn. But I guess this is short. No, it's not so short. This is interesting because Malaysia is near to Singapore, and Singapore is pure gold, I guess. Chinese Premier Li Qiang on Wednesday expressed China's willingness to enhance multilateral coordination with Malaysia to safeguard the hard-won favorable development environment in East Asia. Li made the remarks during a meeting with Malaysia's deputy. Looks like there was a steal here. This is always happening. People, when they go down the bus, somebody steals something and run. So the best thing is to sit in the middle, just like me. Anyway, willingness to enhance multilateral coordination with Malaysia to safeguard the hard-won favorable development environment in East Asia. Li made the remarks during a meeting with Malaysia's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Rural and Regional Development, Dato Seri Dr. Ahmad Sahid bin Hamidi in Beijing. Well, I guess this news, I'm not sure. I'm gonna jump to the latest ones because of Al Jazeera. I guess this one is from Al Jazeera. Look, American progressives better learn what a feminist is. Opinion, women's rights. This is Julie Bindel. Julie Bindel. So this camera of the Samsung A12 is nice. It's better than the Huawei ones. Democrats may pay a high price for their refusal to recognize the difference between the feminist criticism of gender ideology and right-wing bigotry. Journalist, author, and feminist campaigner. I like it. His text, her text. I like her headline. Members of the public attend standing for women protest on February 5th, 2023 in Glasgow. Maybe this Natalia Urban over there. Are you there, Natalia? At the 2014 MTV Music Award, American superstar Beyoncé performed in front of a giant screen blazoned with the word feminist in huge lettering. She said she did it because people don't really know or understand what a feminist is. She was right. Since then, we have seen over and over again how much of America have no idea what a feminist is and what feminism really stands for. As you can see, this is a wokeist journal. No. I guess feminism is nice, but somehow. Anyway, over the past 10 years, we have heard of self-professed feminists who proudly declare their support for misogynist-in-chief Donald Trump. Newspapers ran think pieces of how there are many different ways of being a feminist and how women can still be feminists while opposing the most basic tenets of feminism, or supporting men who objectively harm women. Sex work became feminist. Objectification of the female body became feminist. Surrogacy, as it helped certain women have it all, was also declared feminist. In fact, it became clear that in the American discourse, feminist was any woman or man who claimed to be one for whatsoever reason. People who clashed with sexist, conservative men or any given subject, no matter their positions or any other issue relating to women and girls, were also immediately accepted and celebrated as feminists. Mainstream US feminism has become so individualized that every single woman there appears to define it only in terms of what the term means for her. This type of feminism does not translate into a collective movement and therefore develops no principles, ethics, or goals. Feminist in the current US context has become just another empty identity tag that serves no other purpose than political posturing and virtue signaling. This is partly the reason why American progressive intelligentsia appears to be struggling to make sense of the left wing feminist backlash to the rapid mainstreamization of gender ideology in the United Kingdom. They are unable to distinguish between British feminists' reasoned opposition to the erasure of women's sex-based rights under the guise of trans inclusion and the bigotry of those on the American right who viewed trans-identified people with the same derision with which they have always viewed gay men and lesbians. These so-called progressives do not see the rise of gender ideology, which argues that an individual's internal sense of gender should supersede their sex in all aspects of life and under law, as a threat to themselves, and thus conclude that it is not threat to women as a collective. Furthermore, they perceive trans rights activists who show no regard for women's rights and concerns in their advocacy as true feminists simply because they are targeted by the American right as part of the culture wars. Anyway, I guess this is too much Platonism, you know? Opinions, yeah. I guess opinions are not a real material object, you know. Everybody should have opinions. If I like women, if I like beautiful women, they will say I'm objectifying them. Anyway, Al Jazeera is like too Western to me, like it's too Westernized. More from this Woke's newspaper. Opinions. The recognition of Palestine is undermined by support for harmful policies. Ireland, Norway, and Spain recognition of Palestinian statehood is rendered meaningless by their backing for Arab normalization and the Palestinian Authority (PA). I guess I'm gonna leave this because I have to go. I have to go to.
Espera un poquito. Gracias.
And that's it, folks. Surviving another day of I don't know. Well, the bus driver didn't give me a ticket, so the money is for him. But you know, I guess that's fair. I mean, it's not fair, but it's public transport, you know. I don't know the details about the public transportation in Chile or any place. I guess even if they don't take passengers, they will be I forgot the word. I forgot the word, people. It will be mandatory for them to go to the streets anyway, you know, even if they don't take passengers. Of course, that's not a way. That's not a. I forgot the word again. This is not a good way of making money, you know. I mean, how this is gonna pay itself? I guess right here in Chile, the bus drivers, despite of the mandatory issue of going to work even without passengers, I guess they make more money directly by taking passengers. Understand? I guess it's so much liberalized, and then Brazil, for example. for example, back in Brazil, it was normal to, the most normal thing is that the bus, I mean, one bus doesn't have many tariffs, you know, it has just one tariff. So if you will take a bus, the bus driver will not ask you where are you going, understand? This happens in Chile because it's liberalized, you know. If you take a bus on a hill and you go downtown, it's one tariff. If you don't go downtown, if you go near in the same hill, it will be local, understand? It's different. So, and imagine the mind of a bus driver. So this is like a denounce I'm making. This is a denounce, but the question is, I don't care, you know. I just want to go to take my bus and to go wherever I'm going. And the other question is, I guess the ticket works for in order to you go to take medical attention, but that never happens, you know. For example, a thievery, if you get robbed, a cell phone, I'm not sure what happened in that case. This is an interesting question. I will find out.